What made you want to go to therapy?
Self-development, a failed marriage. I'm a divorced father of two, um, and just trying to get into a space of like not having the proverbial black man story. You know, black man, father, two kids, failed marriage. So I was adding on to that conversation.
You felt that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I think like a year after a year after my divorce, I probably went to like probably a very dark space. You know, I was back in Brooklyn, back in my parents' house. Didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do, but something had to be done. And I called my therapist, and you know, she guided me into my spaces and gave me the tools. And you know, and luckily I had people around me who are also in therapy who also helped reinforce those tools. You know, people who I still speak to this day. And it helped me be better. Like it gave me clarity. As I've gotten older, I've learned to communicate differently.
Yeah.
Right. So you know, I consider myself emotionally intelligent. Like you're not gonna pull no fast shit on me. Like don't manipulate me. It's not gonna work. So and that falls into dating, that falls into business, and so on and so forth. So there's a level of transparency that therapy has afforded me because there's a level of emotional maturity that comes with it, and it has served me well. Sometimes to my detriment, because sometimes I overanalyze. Sometimes,
Yeah, for sure.
right? So because I have all these tools that I've been given. Like, okay, well, what do I need to handle that? Sometimes it could literally the fix to whatever I'm going through could be a drive. It could be a walk. It could be sitting in silence. It could be prayer. It could be whatever it is. But I have enough tools at my disposal to never say that I don't know how. And if I ever get to those spaces where I don't know how, I'll play some music, open a bottle of glass or something, sit on the balcony and just vibe and let it come to me. Because sometimes when you push too much, it's gonna push back, right? And that pushback is you fucking up the cheese, as they say.
Yeah.
Right? So you know, I'm more mindful of it now at 46 than I was when I was 44 and 45, because the past year has taught me to really kind of just, all right, I'm tired. Like I'm emotionally exhausted, but I need to rebuild because I can't stay still. However, staying still does allow me time to see what's going on.
And that, you saying a gang of shit, bro, that's really resonating. The acquisition of the tools is one part of the process.
Yeah.
And in this age now where men are talking about their feelings, they're going to therapy, we're doing a really good job of acquiring tools. We got a tool belt full of shit. One of the things that I feel time does is it helps you understand when to use the tools, which is a form of wisdom in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
That just time
Yeah.
has to allow you to understand that.
Yeah.
And you don't get wisdom just because you acquire all of the goddamn tools.
That's a fact.
Because sometimes the answer is doing nothing, which is a part of just sitting in it. And when you don't necessarily get that in the beginning, your first response is to, oh, go do this, go get the hammer, go get the screwdriver, go get the Phillips head.
We want to fix it.
You got to and that's where you push because you're trying to force something that
don't need force,
and it ends up pushing back, and you're making it worse, and then you feel like you're doing something wrong, and you go to therapy to try to get another tool. When really it's just sit the fuck still.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a perfect example of that. I remember I had a very like one of my, I think I was like 41, 42. I had to move back to my parents' house after a failed relationship, and I had to start over again. And I had a moment where I started to realize that I was inviting the toxic relationships in my life. And I was like, when I get upset, I cry. Like I'm really, like, it's frustrating because I'm not gonna be violent, but I know that if shit hit the fan, it's gonna go down. And then I remember calling my therapist and she was like, Wes, sit with it. I said, what the fuck you mean? She said we knew this day was coming. I prepared you for this. You have all the tools. And I was like, and she's like, Wes, no, we're not having a session today. Just sit with it. And man, listen, bro. I felt like somebody just left me in a you know how you see kids in a park by themselves in a sandbox. And you just sitting there like this, like. What did she just say? So I got my phone in my hand and like, yo, she really hung up. And that probably was the best thing she could have did for me. Because it really forced me to identify the tools at my disposal, which were there, right? Breathing, emotional transparency, going back, identifying toxicity around me. But ultimately, I just had to sit there and not do nothing. Yeah. Because there's nothing that I needed to do because it was already happening.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's tough. That's a hard fucking muscle to exercise.
It is. So I sat there for the equivalent of about like 8 hours in my room. And I just sat there. I didn't sleep, had music playing in the background, and I just like, okay. And I could hear what she was saying. Like, just sit with it. And I had to. And a lot of times we get to these emotional spaces, we tend to run from them, and that makes it worse. So you have to kind of just sit with it. So I had to sit with the fact that this person who I love, or these people who I love, were being toxic to me, and I had to now identify these people, what those relationships meant to me, how I could either cut them off, adjust, or just move forward because the damage has already been done. Because you can't go, because some certain situations that we tend to handle as men, because we try to be proactive and making it better, we take it from 0 to 60.
Yeah.
When it should just be like, let me just keep you at the stop sign and let's just chill here for a minute.